Trump supporters claim voting for Kamala Harris may cause brain cancer. In a shocking new statement, advocates from RF Safe, a leader in electromagnetic radiation safety, have issued a stark warning ahead of the 2024 election. Citing research from the National Toxicology Program and the Ramazzini Institute, RF Safe alleges that the current administration's failure to act on these findings is putting American lives at risk. A central figure in this debate is Beau Biden, President Biden's late son, who tragically died from glioblastoma, a type of brain cancer. The NTP's landmark study, a $30 million decade-long investigation, found clear evidence that prolonged exposure to cell phone-level radiation causes the exact type of cancer that claimed Beau Biden's life: malignant tumors in the brain. These findings have been reinforced by the Ramazzini Institute, which conducted parallel research, confirming that even low-level exposure to radiofrequency radiation from cell towers led to similar brain tumors. The human epidemiological studies, including those led by Dr. Leonard Hartle, have further validated the link between long-term cell phone use and brain cancers such as gliomas and acoustic neuromas. These studies present overwhelming evidence that the risks from RF radiation are much higher than the outdated safety guidelines from 1996 suggest. Yet the Biden-Harris administration has done nothing to address these risks. In fact, the Biden-Harris administration made matters much worse by cutting funding for critical research into wireless radiation and halting the National Toxicology Program's efforts after they uncovered clear evidence of cancer from RF exposure. The administration continues to rely on the FCC's antiquated safety standards, which focus only on thermal effects and fail to recognize the more insidious non-thermal biological effects such as DNA damage, oxidative stress, and tumor development. These decisions are putting countless lives at risk, and more people will die, just like Vice President Harris's mother, Kamala, who passed away from colon cancer, and President Biden's son, Beau Biden, who died of a brain tumor, both cancers attributed to wireless radiation exposure. This isn't just bureaucratic inertia, says John Coates, founder of RF Safe. It's a deliberate policy failure. The exact cancer that killed Beau Biden has been linked to RF radiation exposure, and yet the administration has allowed this research to be defunded and ignored. They are prioritizing industry profits over public health, and Kamala Harris is part of that. Harris's own mother died from cancer, now linked to wireless radiation, and she still allowed for the world's most important NTP cancer research to be ended. Coates founded RF Safe after the tragic loss of his daughter, Angel Lee Coates, to a neural tube defect, which research has attributed to EMF exposure. This heartbreaking event started his lifelong journey of research, advocacy, and innovation in the realm of electromagnetic field safety for almost 3 decades. Adding urgency to the issue is new research from the 2024 ISEE conference, which suggests that the rise in early-onset colorectal cancer among young people may also be linked to cell phone radiation. The study, led by Dr. Dae-Kun Lee of Kaiser Permanente, found that individuals who carried cell phones in their pants pockets for extended periods had a 4-fold increase in the risk of developing early-onset colorectal cancer, particularly in the rectum, which is closest to where phones are often stored. Key findings. The NTP's decade-long study provided clear evidence of increased cancer rates, particularly gliomas, the same cancer that killed Beau Biden. The Ramazzini Institute confirmed these findings at lower exposure levels, further reinforcing the link between RF radiation and brain tumors. Human studies, such as those by Dr. Leonard Hartle, provide epidemiological evidence that long-term cell phone use is associated with brain cancers. A new study from the 2024 ISEE conference links cell phone radiation to the alarming rise in early-onset colorectal cancer in young people. Despite RFK Jr. obtaining a 2021 court order requiring the FCC to update its safety guidelines to reflect current science, including these non-thermal effects, the Biden-Harris administration has failed to enforce the ruling. "We're not talking about abstract theories or hypothetical risks," Coates added. "We're talking about real lives, like Beau Biden's, lost to cancers that have been directly linked to the kind of wireless radiation exposure the FCC's outdated guidelines allow." Kamala Harris is part of the administration ensuring these hazards remain misclassified, which means we'll only see more cancer cases if nothing changes. What must be done? Update FCC guidelines. The FCC must immediately update its 1996 guidelines to account for non-thermal biological effects of RF radiation, as per the 2021 court ruling. Restart NTP research. The Biden-Harris administration must restore funding to the National Toxicology Program's critical research into wireless radiation and cancer. End corporate capture of the FCC. The FCC must be liberated from the influence of corporate interests to prioritize public health. RF Safe urges the American public to consider the serious health implications of their vote in 2024. Voting for Kamala Harris, they claim, is not just a political choice. It's a vote for policies that have contributed to increased cancer rates, including those exact cancers linked to RF radiation exposure. For more information, visit RF Safe.